Let's see. We are live, Scobo.
Welcome to the Bro Show Live. I'm Skillbo One, and as always, the gang is trickling in here. We got Sequence, Abolish Farm, Spartan Grown, Dankman Dan, and Red will be on his way.
Red said he will be late. This is episode number 69. Thank you for joining us. It is 9 o'clock on Sunday, as always. We have a special guest. Painted Lady was dropping in. She is here. I sent her the wrong link, so she joined right at show starting time. All my fault. Thank you, Painted Lady, for joining us.
Cheers.
You're welcome, guys. What's going on? Thanks for having me.
Just doing our normal Sunday show. We're going to chat here for 2 hours about growing some cannabis. We're going to smoke down some. I've got some white wedding here. We're getting ready to go around introductions, and then we'll chat about whatever the chat wants to chat about. Usually we answer viewer questions. Maybe the viewer questions will have some questions about you, of course, or maybe your cat in the background. They always like the animals, so.
Brad, I just recently found out she's a crazy cat lady.
Oh, yeah. There's 5 of them, so you'll see one of 5 here. Yes, Spartan, I'm a crazy cat lady. Proud.
You don't have the sweatshirt on, though. If you were like a true crazy cat lady, you would have like the sweatshirt on.
Well, no, I got a weed sweatshirt on.
Yeah,
Colorado.
See, there you go.
It looks like Canarado's and Ivory's genetics logo mixed together almost.
Is it?
Kind of does. Kind of does. I picked this up when I was out there last year on 420 out in Denver. That was fun. But yeah, so I'm representing Colorado, even though I'm not from there. Michigan all the way.
Hell yeah, we're proud to talk to more people from Michigan about growing and what they're doing here. We're on a quest here in Michigan to, or at least on the show, to elevate everyone's cannabis to the highest level possible. So everyone here smokes the best flower we can get. So thank you for helping us with that.
Absolutely. Yeah, proud to be here. I was honored to be asked. Yeah. I watch you guys every Sunday, and it's late sesh and
man.
What's going on with the wake and bake?
So this is the right show to ask. Since
Look at Dan. The 3 of us. You got Dan here.
Sorry.
It's all due to me, and my work schedule just doesn't fit with the time slot for the wake and bake anymore. So
Dan got a real job. That's what the problem is.
Yeah,
that's just a cover up. Frugal Force in the morning weren't just keeping up with the late sesh. They were killing us. So Sequence cut it.
Yeah,
y'all was talking about save the late sesh. Should have been save the wake and bake.
Yeah, it should have been save the wake and bake. The wake and bake was always in more jeopardy anyway. Getting stoners up at 6 or 5 or whatever it is.
You know what though? They dug it. Like they were getting into it and shit, but it was just a matter of sometimes we would only be able to do an hour show, and then sometimes people would do 2, and people would be like, "Damn, I missed it again." You know.
Right.
Yeah. Seems like we get a lot of tune in about 7 a.m. though. They would start rolling in.
It is a missed show though. We get a lot of feedback from people who miss the wake and bake. We do.
I'll give a shout out to Tara Wilson.
I saw Tara today. Shout out Tara.
Hey, shout out Tara. I saw her today too. It was awesome to see her. She brought me some solvent, we'll say, for my alcohol extractions.
Necessary accoutrements and tools.
Yeah. I did notice when she brought me 151. So
what the heck?
Yeah, so not a big deal.
Body shots or something then?
At first I was thinking, oh, I'm fucked, but then I was like, oh no, I'm not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw that in the cauldron part of the
and just get all the water out.
Yeah, and just boil it off with just alcohol in there, and then I'll be left with water in there, and then pure alcohol in the reclaim, and then I'll just use that. So I'm good.
Yeah, that'll work perfect. I could swear I talked to her about which one that she wanted to get, so she might have forgotten and then bought it here in Michigan and thought she was being tricky on you.
Whatever. I'm just happy to have some.
So are you making oil for Christmas, man? Is that what's in the plans?
Say what?
I said you're going to make some oil for Christmas then?
Dude, I make oil consistently all the time, as much as possible.
How many bags are we looking at? Come on. Yeah. Sequence is holding up the...
Well, that's the thing is that a lot of people know that I have it, so that a lot of people want me to make their oil for them, so it keeps me pretty busy.
Yeah.
He
It's
really
true.
does.
We were trying to give him a few bags of trim, and he wouldn't take them because he's got stuff already.
Backed up.
I literally have a garbage bag full right now that I have to process. So it was not fair for me to take anything until I can at least get to it relatively soon.
Good point. I can accept that as a reason.
Some of that sour melon, that giddy up and go oil, man.
So we have all of our trim strain separated. So if you wanted 3-gallon bags of citral glue trim right now, I could hook you up. So I don't know what effects you would get from each different strain separated trim as far as RSO goes, but or any extract really, but we could make that happen.
It'd be a
Or
really
they can all be.
experiment. It'd be fun to see.
Yeah. We're gonna have a
Smoking right now
shitload
is
of
the
trim
citral
either
glue,
way.
man.
So if you have a gallon bag either way, you might as well have a gallon bag of one strain. So that's what we did. We've been trimming, dude, forever.
That doesn't go away.
Yeah,
That just means you're good at it. You're bringing them to term, brother.
it's a hat that I'm willing to wear. It's one of the ones that I knew I was going to have when I started the grow thing.
What
Like,
techniques are you using?
I didn't want to be a electrician and a carpenter and everything else that was involved with doing the greenhouse. So it's just wanted to do the plant parts. Now that we're doing that, I'm really geeked. We've tried a bunch of stuff, Dan. I want to try the trim bag the most.
Right. I
But I
hear
haven't
good.
gotten to try it yet. So that's on the radar. It's the thing to do. So far, we basically hand trimmed everything.
Shake and bake, baby.
Yeah, man. I know some people that have had good results with the trim bag, and then I know a lot of people that have seen it and said that it'll work like crap. So I don't know. I haven't put my own hands on it yet. So
Sequence, you haven't realized by now that everything is awesome and everything fucking sucks simultaneously, depending on who you talk to in this game.
you realize what I said, right? Like everybody that's tried it says it's good. Everybody that hasn't tried it says that it looks like it's not good. So like the people that have tried it definitely say that it's worth using. A lot of people that have not tried it look at it and say that it's silly. So it's hard to tell.
What I've gathered from the people I've talked to is it's okay to use on like your B and C buds, but just pull your big colas out and hand trim those.
Yeah, that makes the
Kind
most
of like
sense.
the consensus that I got. Because everybody knows, especially outdoor, those fucking, we'll call them C buds or whatever.
Right.
They take more time than it's worth to even trim the fucking things. A lot of
And
it.
you still got to do a cleanup after you take it out of there, I'm sure.
Chat, I realize you can feel free to judge me for talking about a trim bag, but we're talking about more pounds of cannabis.
We're talking about scaling two guys.
We're talking
You
about
know,
more pounds of cannabis than you want to look at, dude. I mean, you would dream that you had this much, like finished, flowered, cured, ready to trim, beautiful, stuff that you would show anybody. But it is like 16 hours a day for another 6 months worth of work for 2 people to do. So you just got to think about it. That's for sure.
So speaking of stuff like that, the quick trimming, I got to try out that trim brush that I got so up in arms about a few months ago. Like that's gonna beat up the buds. But Yeti brought it over, and I'd say it's not. It works because like a lot of people that dry their cannabis, they dry it quite a bit, and you'd have to dry it a little more than what I would want to, but I'd say most people, yeah, it'll work. It didn't beat up the buds. It took the leaves right off. I was like, whoa.
Well, you kind of do the same thing with your scissors at times too. You know what I mean? You just
Yeah.
give it that little flick thing rather than actually getting in there and trying to cut something and leave a rough edge.
Yeah, if you're at the stage when you can just flick the leaves off with your scissors, you should be able to use stuff like
Your
so. Like
thumb.
the canna brush is the same idea, but the canna brush is a lot messier. So like, I just picture myself flicking leaves all over the effing place. You know what I mean?
Isn't that brushing off trikes though?
I would imagine.
Yeah, it's got to knock something off there, and you got to have it
Something.
what I would consider over dried to be effective.
Okay, but then that's where you have your trim tray or your trim bin. You put it underneath. You're collecting all those heads that fall off anyway. Nothing's going to get lost.
I've talked to people in trim crews about it, and what they've told me the negative on that is that it leaves the crow's feet behind. So you got to go back through and trim those out anyway. So
Yeah, I would expect
kind
that.
of defeats
for
the
sure.
purpose. Because it'll
Well, you're just looking for something to do the work.
yeah, because
So
it
if all you
literally
gotta do is
it's like sticky, so it literally will like rip the leaf away from the the little tiny stem of the leaf. You know what I mean? So that the
Right.
stem stays behind.
But I mean, just imagine only clipping 2 times per bud rather than 15
True.
times per bud.
True. Fuck that. I'll use scissors all day. I haven't found a better way yet.
Those products serve a purpose. I mean, there's lots of people out there that just can't do the physical labor to trim it all. So something like that's amazing.
That's what I was saying. Is it
I think
depends
that's
on
where machines
scale.
work. I think a little home machine would be
Right.
better at that point. Save up for that and stop fucking with these, because you're trading going like this with the scissors with still fucking doing this wrist motion. So you're gonna get, what is it, carpal tunnel in your wrist or whatever. Who knows? I mean, you're still gonna wear down. Just get a machine, then you don't wear down.
Spartan, you're used to that motion. Come on.
The only
now, but I'm getting old though. Who knows?
Come right in with the burn.
Oh boy, welcome to the show.
She's a fucking regular already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely think hand trimming is better. Green Bosch trimmers look like they're the best probably for the dry trim after a lot of research.
Do you look at those Uncle Toms or whatever they're called? That's the one Aaron the Grower's using. I really like that one, man. That looked awesome.
I haven't heard of that particular trimmer, so I can't say. I feel like I've heard of every style of trimmer, but that's not to say I've seen every product.
Yeah, this one's different. It's still kind of a cylinder style, but it's not metal. It looked like.
Oh, I think you explained it, to me already in person.
Yeah, it's a strange thing, but I don't know. I would just DM me, Aaron. He's in the chat. You can just ask him. He'd probably tell you.
Right.
He could probably give you a link to it.
Tommy says Tom's Tumblr.
I think that's what it was. Man, I hate the mute button on Zoom. I wish I could have my regular mute button back.
Look at how nice Spartan looks tonight. You can see him in high definition. Finally, he's got his new camera hooked up, guys. He's
Thank
pretty.
you for the patronage, chat. We appreciate you.
That's straight from chat. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Here, we'll spotlight him. I know he didn't want to be in HD.
Look at that. But
he didn't want to be on camera.
Count those beard hairs,
Pretty
guys.
fly for a white guy.
That's a beautiful man right there. Thank you, chat, for the
got himself now.
Getting Spartan in HD. We got another camera for Dank Man Dan. We just got to get to him yet.
Well, it's perfect timing for that hashtag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So we're gonna upgrade the hashtag. We're gonna get Dan a better camera angle. He's got like a very boomer camera angle right now. So we got to get him work on that.
Yeah.
This should be an improved camera right now. This is from my phone. So chat, I can't read chat right now because I got to use my phone to Zoom from here. But
tell them where you're from, Dan. Where are you coming from live?
Live from the Hash Shed.
Is that what we're going to officially call it? Is the Hash Shed?
That's what I call it. Trish calls it the doghouse.
Ooh.
So Dude's Grow Show, I think they came up with the coolest name with the bakery. I was like, that's a really clever name for anything.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. I got to come up with one now.
Yeah, man. Give me a plat. I'll put it up.
I would fucking. What do they call that? What do you when you copy something? They don't call it copying, but it's the sincerest form of flattery. I can't remember the first part of that.
Imitation.
Imitation. Yes.
So we could call it like the bakery. So like we were already baked.
Dankery.
The dankery. I like that.
No, Dan, what's the size on that? Tell us what we're looking at.
This is a 10 by 12 by 9 foot tall. Little room here, guys. It's not much right now, but it'll get there.
What's that over your right? What's that over your right shoulder? You're flexing hard, bro.
This is the freeze dryer. We got the little Nug Smasher back here right now. We're upgrading that this week. Mich Micro is helping out with that.
You getting some low temp plates?
Yeah, we got 4x7 crow cage coming, man. So we can put out some profit.
Dude, Dan, you make some incredible rosin. I got to try it today.
Oh,
you
man.
have something to hold up to the camera sequence?
I don't.
Oh, you don't have it. They didn't leave it behind. It was that good. You even got sliced out of it.
It's at the farm.
Got some. I got some. Here it is, man.
Show it off.
I know that buying different plates isn't going to make your rosin any better, but wow.
Let me see if I can.
Oh, man down. Man down.
It's all right. I don't know if I can.
No, you're good.
Spotlight it.
Anyway, she's full, Captain. She's full.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nice.
all right there.
this is the baller jar here. But yeah, thanks guys. This is Divine Storm from my outdoor crop.
Smells
how
so
swanky
good.
that is.
Good.
Tara had some of that today. I got to smell it. It smelled so good, dude.
Thank you, man. Tomorrow we'll be washing up the Primal Punch, so pretty excited about that.
Ooh, that's getting ready to go into flower next too, bro.
Awesome, man.
I'm
Yeah,
super excited about
5
that.
days that's ready. So
It's like, since it's so late in veg, it is taking the fuck off now, man.
Dude,
She's
it
got her feet
doubled.
under.
size and flower.
Good.
Yeah.
I got a GMO in there that's like 3 feet tall and ready to rip too.
Right on, man. You're gonna
Good
love
luck with that thing.
Oh, what I'm going to do, I'm going to be a sensible dude, and I'm going to take a bunch of cuts, and I'm going to hard top it down to where I want it to be, and then just
There you
use
go.
all those fresh tops
I would
as my
recommend.
cuts and do that. So I'm trying to be smarter than the average bear. And I got the Rainbow Driver is going to slide up in there. I got that GG4. I was showing Spartan his GG4 clone before we went live. It's what, about 2 feet tall? She's looking pretty good.
It's not a fucking clone. It's plant. Now.
Yeah. Clone in a 7-gallon pot.
Painted lady, tell us about your grow. What strains you got going, and what medium you're growing in? How you growing?
Well, I am a salt grower. I know you can shame me all you want.
No, not at all.
But
Before you go any further, I grow far more plants and salts than I do in organics.
that's true. I guess I should look at it that way. But no, I'm a salt grower for right now, but I do plan on starting an organic real soon here. I run LED, and I like Root 707 soil for like about the first 4 weeks of veg. And then I use Bloom yellow bottles after that, which is like an Australian company. And my plants love it. And let me see, what else? What did I skip? Medium, lights.
What are you
Grain.
growing? Yeah, what are you growing?
What am I growing? I used to be pretty strictly ethos. I used to run a little Colorado, and oh crap, I picked up some genetics out in Colorado last year when I was there, and now I don't remember. Free World Genetics. Have you guys ever heard of them? Colorado.
I haven't heard of Free
anyway.
World yet. No.
Yeah, they're pretty new, I think, out there. But anyway, it was mostly just kind of ethos for a while, and then I picked up some Irie, and that's been a game changer for me. I mean, I love ethos; they're great and everything, but I mean, I can't not say that I just pulled over 20 ounces off of one lemon Jeffrey plant. So
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm pretty stoked about it.
Like that's
For basement grow,
that's fucking great, man.
So what's your grow
indoor, yeah,
style?
it's very good.
So what's your grow style as far? Are you're in the Roots Organic, but are you, how many plants per light, or how many, like the area? Like, are you at a 4x4?
No, I have I'm lucky to have a big open basement. It was just kind of like a gold mine. It's just all cement block.
Oh, nice.
And so I just put up a couple walls, and I separated it into a veg space and a flower space. My veg space is probably about, I don't know, 8 by 10, 10 by 10. And then my flower space is probably about 12 by 20, 15, 12 by 15,
Nice.
something like that. And I run
Nice.
Sorry?
So you got a lot of space to work then. That's nice.
I'm lucky that I do. Yeah, I'm a caregiver and I have patients. So I usually run about 6 plants. I do perpetual, and I run about 6 plants through every time, once a month. So I run about 12 harvests a year.
How much space are you dedicating to 6 plants and flower?
About half of it. Yeah, I don't use the entire room. Obviously, I have like a big AC unit that comes, that's out, and then, dehumidifiers. I use a couple of dehumidifiers and fans and everything, and I just kind of keep them centered in the middle. And then I run 6 through at a time, and then I run, have them staggered. So then the other 6. And yeah, lately I've been running Irie, and I am super stoked. I was lucky enough to get my hands on some testers of Afterglow, which is clementine and arise, and oh man, it's delicious. Yeah.
Clementine is a favorite of ours on the show. As
Is it?
For Growly.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
Growly, not
it's. I already. I think I have like 4. One of them was male, so I had to toss him. But I have 4 different phenos, and one of them is just incredible. So, yeah. So I've just been running a lot of Irie and a lot of Ethos. I'm in that multipass. So, hey, Sequence, what do you think of that Mac?
Okay, so that'd be a good one to talk about. I actually considered smoking the Mac S1. I assume that's what you're talking about, right?
Yep.
Doses Mac, right? I grew them side by side. You probably heard because you listened to the show or whatever, but I grew Mac 1 and Mac S1 side by side. I haven't smoked the Mac S1 yet, so can't give you that. But the Mac S1 got bigger, both in height and in bud size. It wasn't comparable in frost. Like, it didn't look like the Mac.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Which would be like the only reason to really grow it. The Mac S1 plant that I got was really satisfying as far as what it was. If I wasn't expecting it to be the Mac, I probably would have been pretty excited about what it ended up being.
Quicker veg too,
that
right?
said, I didn't keep it, huh?
Quicker veg too, right?
It did veg a lot quicker than the Mac did, so that's worth noting. But it was nothing like the Mac. It was not. So, like, most people would think that if you selfed a plant, made seeds, that the genetics would be very, very similar. And growing them side by side with the same nutrients, using the same pump, the same water, the same everything, they were very, very different. So I can pretty definitively, in my opinion, say that there's at least a lot of expression, phenotypical difference, even in the self genetics, which was surprising.
I think that's kind of why you don't see a GG4 S1s either.
Right. Well, you do see them.
Well,
like,
but
I don't want to shout out the names of some really terrible genetic companies, but there's people that are known for like selfing genetics and saying that they have like a copy of GG4 or Runts or whatever the hell that you can't get from anyone except for the original breeder, right? So they'll self it and then sell those packs to people that think they're then getting whatever is named that. So like they think that they're getting GMO, but they're not getting GMO. They're getting some expression of the genes that created that, just like that Mac 1 test. So like
I kept waiting for the frost to develop on it.
Right.
There was no frost through the entire, like the first 3 quarters of the grow. I was like, what? This is ridiculous. But then at the end, it really turned on and it really was beautiful. And I like the smoke. I think it's a fantastic flavor. And I mean, if you want to go night.
Right. It was, well, and the Mac is like that. I don't know if you've ever had Mac 1. I assume you have, but.
I was lucky enough, actually, Michigan Matt actually gifted me with that. And so I was really lucky to get my hands on that. And I've got that into flower right now. It's only about 3 or 4 weeks in, and between about 3.5 weeks in. So, and already it's just stupid different.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah.
So if you said the flower was pretty stony though on the S1, then you can't expect that from the Mac. It's pretty indica like, sedative style buzz for sure.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was still pretty happy with the S1, but I mean, obviously, the caps is just crazy.
Yeah, it's a different plant. Like I agree. I was happy with the S1 too, but coming in with the expectation or the hope, I guess, that it was very similar to the Mac, I didn't even bother keeping it. I was like, whatever,
Yeah.
This is just some other thing,
Yeah.
But if it had a different name, if they named it like whatever, it would have been a cool strain all by itself.
Yeah.
I just want to push something here. We were talking about Michigan Matt. I just want to say sour garlic cookies. That is all.
It's pretty bomb.
I agree with you on that, Skilbo. That when I was lucky enough to get the cut this summer, he gifted me some of that sour garlic, and it was delicious. It's tasty. Yeah.
Crazy notes on that.
While we're all flexing on Michigan Matt, I can say that I dabbed his sour garlic cookies rosin. It was super good. Super, super good.
Yeah, you guys are growing the fire over there, Spartan.
Thank you. We try, man. That's what we.
What's next to get harvested?
It's just what's next to get harvested. Tomorrow we're doing the harvest of What the hell are we harvesting tomorrow? I don't even know, dude. I don't even know. Our last harvest was gelato. No, it wasn't. That was 2 harvests ago. I don't even know what our last harvest was, man. I can't keep up.
Rocking
It's every 2 weeks.
Wasn't
Sometimes
it
every week.
the guava?
Strawberry guava?
No.
That was 3 weeks ago.
Oh, it was. I believe it was. I think it was sour garlic cookie. Was our
Damn
last
it.
harvest. Yeah.
Guys,
So
if you see that in the stores, I'm telling you
it's-
right now, if you see Mint and Canico sour garlic cookies, just remember my voice and say, get that shit.
That shit. Yeah.
They always have that in Ann Arbor. I'll grab some for you.
Atta girl. Love you, Miss C.
Yeah, that's one of the earliest relationships we had was in Ann Arbor. We kind of went there first, and there's. I always forget the first.
Who carries it?
Urbana is one that an offshoot of them. It's really the same thing, but they just have a different name for some reason. But I can't think of the original one. Arbor Wellness, maybe. I think it was Arbor Wellness. So usually they'll have flour. If you want to look for mint and canico flour and you're in the Ann Arbor area, that's probably your best bet. Arbor Wellness or Urbana, or however that's pronounced.
I'm going to have to try to slide through there for that. Any recommendations on how to mitigate PM during 5th week of flower from Austro Hoosier?
Heat works. So I used heat. We used heat in the greenhouse to kill PM in flower. Above 90 degrees for extended periods of time will kill it. Warmer temperatures will kill it faster. So you can use, say, 100 degrees for less time than 90 degrees. With that advice, don't go too hot and like kill your plants that way, but you can definitely do it. And then, like Brock said in the chat, add airflow. But heat does kill the PM.
I will say this, I feel for you, man. I have fucking been there with that shit. And you're like, I can't do this, man.
So the hard pill to swallow on PM
is
that your environment's fucked up somewhere. And it might not be the entire room. It might be you had too much foliage in the back corner and it wasn't getting airflow. And it's something that you maybe should have leaf stripped for or added a fan.
Yeah, you got the flu and didn't prune for a week.
Yeah, so it's just like you have to have the mentality that these, because it's the truth, that these spores are always in the air. So it's not that you're going to protect yourself from having them in the air. What you have to do is don't offer them an environment where they can take hold. And what's an environment where they take hold? They really like moisture and they really like cold. So you can combat that with usually the biggest problem with powdery mildew, usually the culprit that I see over and over and over again, is as soon as lights go out, the temperature of the room starts to get colder because there's no heat source from the light anymore. And as that temperature goes down pretty cold, pretty quick, the relative humidity just skyrockets. And you're up to sometimes I've seen 100%, sometimes 70, 80. That's pretty common. That's where you're getting PM. That's where the PM spores are taking hold because now they've got cold temperatures and they got high humidity.
You're slipping out of that VPD.
Yeah. So what you got to do with that, I mean, there's different things you can do. For example, you can put a heater in there and make sure that you can put it on a timer, or you can just use the thermostat of the heater, or however you want to do this. But heat that room. You have to add a heat source sometimes when there's no light in there. Make sure that those night temperatures stay closer to the daytime temperatures, so they don't dip down really low like that. And your relative humidity shouldn't change as much. Obviously, get another maybe a dehumidifier in there that's just a smaller dehumidifier or whatever that you have on a timer just to run on the night cycle and it doesn't run during the day cycle. Just do whatever you have to do, more airflow underneath the plant. There's so many different things. Yeah. You could get real fancy with light schedules. You could have the light schedules to ramp down intensity at the end. So it's more of a slow dissipation of heat instead of just that big sudden loss of heat all at one point. So there's a lot of different techniques you can use to kind of play with that. But just if you understand why you're getting it, then you can try to fix the problem instead of just treat it every time. You know what I mean?
Dan, show them that heater real quick.
What's that?
Can you show them that heater real quick? Because that's what we were talking about, is trying to work with things. If you guys see these kind of heaters at Lowe's or whatever.
You see it?
Yeah.
Those are great because they radiate heat. They don't have a lot of lights on them usually.
Yeah, and they're safe. If they tip over, they're not going to catch anything on fire. They're an oil heater.
Sequence trying to get down with the Ice-T original gangster shit in the chat.
Well, so we did have a decent question in chat. Shredder asked if they were wondering why people started using the term OG, or because it seems ambiguous, or if OG sort of started by meaning clone only. I was saying OG is pretty confusing because OG means different things to different people. So when you see it in strain names, it can mean different stuff. So sometimes people will say OG meaning OG Kush. So if you see OG in a name, it used to mean that came or was in the lineage somewhere, like it was an OG, for example.
And I think if you don't do that, if you put OG on and it doesn't have cushion, and people be like, well, what's the OG?
Well,
in this
a lot of
cross?
people will say that OG means ocean grown.
No.
Google OG. It's a thing.
Well, sure.
It's a thing that people believe. So that will be in genetics
program.
Specifically for that reason, is my point. So sometimes it'll be labeled because it's ocean grown. Sometimes it'll be labeled that because it's OG the strain. Right. And then sometimes it'll be labeled OG because it's like the original version. It's the OG of the strain. So when you see OG in a strain name, it definitely doesn't mean shit anymore. But it used to mostly mean that it was an OG Kush derivative.
So that's really just a product of prohibition. As we crawl and fucking just slow snail's pace crawl out of fucking prohibition, maybe someday we can be serious fucking adults and come up with fucking serious names for our strains and treat it like.
You don't like runts, man? Or
I don't like taking names that
pink
are
panties and
purple panty dropper.
I'm fine with I'm fine with all that shit, but I'd not fine with the ones that get under my skin, to be honest with you, is when you just take somebody else's fucking brand and fucking change a letter and call it your shit.
Oh, yeah. So Skittles is a good one. I agree with all of that stuff.
That irritates the shit out of me.
But I am growing Oreos, so I am guilty of that. But I'm not doing it for the name. I'm doing it because I really dig the smoke, guys.
You didn't name.
Right.
And that's all that really matters is what really is the best for you, the medicine. You know, smoke it. Don't give into a name or anything. Smoke the damn thing and then make a decision for yourself. But I really do hate. I mean, put a little thought into your product, like you might have some love for it. Don't just fucking afterthought it. It pisses me off.
So like the Jack and Mac that we're talking about in the chat, and I said, you know, if it's a Jack Hare crossed with Mac 1, why, you know what I mean? You could just call it Mac Hare or Jack Mac, but then people would be thinking it tastes like fish.
Mac Hare is a damn good name.
I don't know how they didn't get that, man.
I mean, they seem so different.
The two things that I think are the best is like what you were just kind of describing, was it gives you the name gives you a clue to its lineage. I like that.
Yeah.
Or I like if the name gives you a clue to what to expect in the smoke, like a flavor or a high or something. I like that.
Strawberry guava.
Like cherry pie or whatever.
Yeah. I think that's kind of been the average kind of what everybody kind of fell into, and I hope it stays that way. Those are my favorites. It's like, give me some kind of a clue of the name. Don't just name it something off the wall.
Yeah, if it says clue, it's got to have fucking GG4 in it.
Yeah, or even a rice, for example.
Right.
I mean, I haven't even grown it yet, but I know from Jeff talking about it all the time that it gives you an uplifting feeling. So, I mean, it means something. There's something behind the name. That's the shit I like.
I had testers ask for the name of the strain that I had made, the cross that I had made, and all I could tell them was the parents of the cross, because I didn't come up with the name yet, because we haven't smoked it or grown it or anything yet. It's like it could be like Skywalker is famously named Skywalker because the plant grows really tall and will crawl across your lights and stuff. So like you don't know that without growing it first, so you can't name it before you do that.
It's funny you mention that because we ran into an issue with the state at work because we made our own cross at work. We made some fire crosses, hopefully. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what shakes out, but I won't say anything yet.
Ooh.
I'm not sure that I'm allowed.
The intrigue is growing.
All
that besides, you know, we popped some seeds and we want to be able to put those into metric. And one of the required fields is the name. And we're like, how do we do this? We can't name it. We haven't even fucking grown it yet. How can we name it? So it's interesting. This kind of just came up because we're running into that same kind of a situation.
Sometimes the name is like the best part. Like when we did the grow off, I know that it doesn't have its own name, but to everybody that grew it, it has a name and it totally fits everything about the strain. They just don't want to use it. But you know, for us, it means
it worked.
Yeah, it worked really well.
Cut me deep tonight, man. I've renamed a strain and I've named a strain before I grew it all the way out and smoked it.
And you've named a strain OG.
Yeah.
He's just broken all the fucking conventions. He just don't give a fuck. I do what I want.
You're like a threefer.
I love you, AB.
He's just silent now.
It's just cracking me up.
But yeah, the OG is, for me anyways, that means somebody's like original cut. They're the holder of that cut. Like the cheese was handed down to me by the magician, so I call it the abolished OG. I'm the original holder of that cut now because he's dead now. Rest in peace.
Yeah, and I think that's a cool reason. I was just kind of bringing up that OG has kind of been used for so many things. It doesn't necessarily mean any one thing when you see it on a label. So you just can't assume anymore. That's all.
But sometimes they pass things on. Like right now, all the rage that I've noticed is anything that has platinum is frosty as shit.
True.
I think I've heard that before.
Well, I mean, you're fucking growing it, bro.
I think I've said it before to you.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Hopefully it takes over for the cookies trend.
Look who just got dropped off by the alien bus.
Red said he was going to be late, and now he's here.
Okay, so it's 9:36. How long is it going to take him to roll that first joint? Can he be ready by hash time, folks? We'll find out.
There he is. Oh, he's at the farm. That's why he was late.
Yeah, because he said he was going out to work today. He's feeling better.
What's up, Red? Welcome to the show, Red.
Dude.
What's going on, everybody? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound good, dude.
Yeah?
Cheers,
sweet.
Red.
What's going on?
You look like somebody that consumes drugs, Red.
Who? Me?
Red, you're looking kind of the booch. You're looking kind of peppy. Is it the booch, or are you feeling better?
I don't know, dude. I've been on it. I've been at it fucking a couple days now. I took myself off quarantine finally. So I went and got some more super booch. I'm trying the Synergy booch, man. I'm feeling bad and boochy. I'm doing good.
Feeling bad and boochy?
We're Booch brothers today, Red. We got the same one.
Dude, you're same. Yeah, look at it. There we go. It's not bad. It's a starter booch. It's got a little bit of a sour kick to it. Not a sour kick, but like that fermented cider. Go ahead.
Did you give up on the Master Brew, Red? Come on, man.
No, I got
up on the Super Booch.
This one's
I got my 40. I just wanted to try this one out. I wanted to give this one a whirl, and I apologize if I'm yelling. I feel like I need to yell. Do I not need to yell?
No, you don't have to yell.
Good, dude.
You yell volume. Sounds perfect.
That never happens. Red yelling.
Yeah, exactly. We always have to tell you to turn it up, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We got Painted Lady on. Cheers, Painted Lady. What's going on?
What's up, Red?
Just getting a chance to see what's all going on in here. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
She's part of that late session army.
Polish, Barton, Skilbo, Sequence. What's happening to everybody? So what am I missing out on? What are you guys talking about? I haven't been listening.
Your mom.
We're talking about genetics mostly. So
My
far, I
mom
think.
already?
Damn.
Not even hash time.
Not yet.
That's funny.
Speaking of genetics, I had to bring some stuff out here tonight. That's kind of why I was late. I was packing up crop. Let's see, some Grape Glee, some Hazmat OG, some Citrique. Can't wait to get the Citrique going. I got some Citrique coming out. And what else did I bring out here? Citrique, some strawberries and cream. 6-pack of strawberries and cream.
Ooh, we need that
Nice.
Citrique. We need that Citrique, bro.
It's so good,
dude.
Red.
Yeah. I'm shooting for like 2 weeks to flip. So,
I'll trade you a
60
cut.
days, 65, 70 days plus 2 weeks.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm in. I want some TC really bad in my life.
I'll trade you this cut behind my head.
There you go, the purple one.
Yeah, that's what I'm
for
talking
Citrique.
about. For what? Citrique? For Citrique? Yeah, that's a done deal.
Dude.
Probably a done deal. I got
Need that
knock
rainbow
on wood,
driver is
I'm
what you
supposed to
need.
meet up with my homie. Should be getting, hoping to get like Lemon Dozy, I think, maybe tomorrow. I think that was an archive one that he hunted out. Super geeked about that. I think I'm gonna get some of that.
Love anything.
I don't know, he might have something else for me. I don't know.
What's
Yeah.
the lineage on this?
So guys, yeah, before it takes me the better part of the show to actually burn one, I'm gonna roll one up. So, cheers.
Cheers.
I brought some Death Star out with me actually. Oh, check out my guy. Where is it? There it is.
Red, what is the lineage on that
Nice.
Citrique? Hey, I got mine too, bro. The cool kid shit, man.
I actually have Trop cookies in this jar.
A key went on mine.
Did anybody pick up anything special? Any Black Friday deals for your grows?
All I bought was
cart.
one thing from Build a Soil. I bought some more fucking barley or coots, whatever that one is. I forget what it's called. Gnarly barley. That's what it's
Gnarly
called.
barley.
I bought some more bubble bags.
Bought a controller for the greenhouse, but it was not on sale.
Damn it.
Damn it. Nothing
Damn
we
it.
buy is on sale for that thing. We
I
did get a
bet.
good deal on the
Everybody-
landscape fabric. I remember that. That was like the only thing that I can remember we got a good deal on so far.
Did you
I'm
order
about
that,
to-
or did you go pick that up at like TSC?
We ordered it.
Okay.
Home Depot.
I didn't buy anything for the grow. Just denims.
Denim.
Bunch of denim jackets. Levi
And
had
some
a hell of a
Some Fonzies.
Red got some work
deal on that one.
boots.
Trying to figure out.
What do they call that?
Yeah, man.
Redneck tuxedo? It's like a denim suit.
Red-
Oh, if you're wearing denim tops and bottoms. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a kid, yeah.
Red, you got to give us a
Yeah,
picture
there
of
you
that.
go. Yeah, totally. Oh, my redneck tuxedo. Oh
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I love Levi. Actually, got a jacket. It's hemp cottonized hemp. So yeah, I guess that is
Oh,
Should
that's
last a
cool.
while.
cannabis related.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a cottonized jacket from Levi. Yeah, I'm really geeked about that. So I'm still trying to catch what it is. I just have sativa.
Is a cottonized hemp jacket more expensive than a regular jacket?
Yes.
It is?
It was like
I would
$10 more expensive, I
It
think.
should be. It's gonna last.
I would
till-
assume it is.
It's gonna last forever.
Yes and yes, both. Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Cool.
See, Bob Gross knew. I just didn't want to say it, but that's what I know it as too.
Can't remember the name of the company. There's a place I think out of Chicago that makes like Carhartts, but out of hemp. I turned
That's
some
sweet.
farmers I know onto him, and he's like, he swears by him. He's like, they last way the fuck longer than Carhartts, and they don't.
I need a Carhartt. I'll have to check that out, man. You should link that up.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
try to figure it out. It's something. I'll look it up.
Dude, what are those scratchy ass? Remember those? They're like a tan pullover, like a
That's
Baja
Carhartts,
jacket.
dude.
You know what I'm talking
That's
about?
Carhartt that I'm talking about.
Carhartt.
Feels like you're
100%.
wearing. Feel like there's steel plates in it. They don't want to
I've got a coat, mate. A Carhartt coat. Yeah, you got to have one up here in
Dude, I
Michigan.
got mine. I got mine. It's like 10. I don't even know how old it is, man. It might be like 15 years old. It's sitting right across from me. I mean, the sleeves are starting to like wear out finally. I mean, this thing is. I got it back when I started A&P school, which was probably back in 2007. Yeah, it's probably like 13 years old, 14 years old.
Fucking vintage.
I'm
now.
pretty
So-
sure that when you're like 18,
Oh,
a lumberjack just walks out of the woods and hands you your first Carhartt coat, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, pretty
Takes
much.
180 bucks from
Steel
you.
toe boots.
Right?
It's $180 from you.
They are expensive.
Yeah, no joke, dude. I wouldn't be opposed to checking out a cottonized hemp style Carhartt or something because I do need.
Oh, that'd be
Working
cool.
at New Standard, we're dropping down the amount of the amount of people in the building. Period. So like we're doing a lot of curbside. So I'm gonna be working outside a lot. We have a tent, some heaters and stuff, but it's gonna be a lot of to and fro. So I'm gonna need to get my winter gear up. Been living in grow rooms for so long, man. All my clothes are tropical. All I got is beach clothes. Living in Michigan.
Yeah, Fresh Cut was laughing about his winter tan because he can go like topless in the greenhouse because
He
it's
can,
so warm
but
in there.
but should he?
Yeah, it's there's
First
a lot of
day,
airflow
getting
in
some
there.
snow.
There's a lot of airflow in there. It keeps the smells down. And you
Both
don't.
on the plants and him.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
He's walking around topless. You need to get that 24-hour camera going.
Oh, it's
I
going.
think
Oh, it's on camera.
Oh, it's on camera
Picture
from
before.
multiple angles.
There's a lot of camera.
I heard
Yeah.
him and Dave are already talking. Dave runs our OnlyFans.
Yeah,
Oh,
Got
sick, dude! I didn't know we had an OnlyFans.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
they do a lot with CGI these days. You know,
People probably think they're DMing me and they're talking to Dave.
exactly.
Those
So-
poor people.
So I can't find the webpage in my heightened state of awareness right now, but I found an article about it and I threw that in chat so they can click on that and it shows like the Carhartt jackets and the pant. You can get the pants too.
You're junkie.
That's what my farmer buddy, that's what he really likes is the pants because, jumping up and down off tractors, you'll catch fucking equipment here and there and rip the fuck out of your pants. So he really likes it for that. It takes a little while longer to break them in, just so you know, but they're, I guess, bulletproof. So
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
We're going to see how well my sense of smell goes. I have Death Star and I have Flow. They both kind of look similar. I'm going to have to smell them out, I think. I think this is Death Star, actually, just by looking at it. Okay, so Citrique is Lime Skunk and Orange Valley OG. I'm guessing Orange Valley OG is the male. I want to say that Orange Valley OG was also used on Orange Cream. Or no, I'm sorry, it was Lime Skunk and Cookies and Cream, I think, made Orange Cream, something like that. But that doesn't make sense. No, it had to have been Orange Valley OG.
Can you smell and stuff now, Red?
It's
I don't
coming
know.
back.
I'm gonna.
That's
I
a
got
no.
two different bags.
Wait a minute. Let me just do it one time. Let me see if I can do it for you, Red. Baby, come back. Is it gonna work?
I question Painted Lady if she can smell with that fucking cat ass in her face.
Cat pissy ammonia turfs. You know, it smells like grapefruit diesel.
Yeah, it smells like grapefruit diesel.
I had to laugh on the late session. You had to go to the second verse of the song, Skilbo.
I did, yeah, man.
That was funny as shit, man.
That's all we do. I love that Spartan is on every week with us now.
Yeah, man. I listen to you guys on my way to work.
Oh yeah, man.
Recorded,
Hope you're not
but
going
yeah.
to bed early when we're live. Are we still live? Or are you
No,
going
I
to
ain't
bed
that sleep them then, but
We're still live, Red. You're still conscious, brother.
early?
Still in the game.
You're still with us, man.
Red, you're still not rolled up yet. You got in here at 11:36. That's 9:47. That's 11 minutes. Let's go.
Hey. I got the weed out of the bag. I think I got the Death Star out. I think that's another reason that I got a little extra pep to my stuff. I've been smoking. I dipped back into the Death Star bin. Kind of rehydrated it a little bit, nice and mushy again. So I've been smoking on that, and so heads up, I'm not in chat because I'm on a satellite out here, so I'm just trying to keep my internet, non-laggy. So
Red
shooting for quality over that. So cheers to chat and everybody. If everybody's been saying hello, I am saying hello now. I'm just not reading chat. I'll go back and rewatch and read chat.
Red, would you say you're talking to the chat from outer space?
I'm talking to the chat satellite from outer space.
Yeah,
Yes.
satellite.
yes.
Wow,
Demon.
dude.
It's actually a green screen. He's on the ship right now, guys. They're just trying to keep us calm so they can get further away with him. But he'll be back tomorrow night, 11 p.m.
Oh, Red doesn't even know he's on the ship right now. They're just handing him Death Star.
That's it. Yeah, they get him smoked out.
Man.
Man.
Smoke this, buddy. Smoke
Speaking
this.
of aliens, Death
Hey,
Star. Dude,
Lamau.
I had to go in for my second probing today, and she was vicious. This one, she went a whole 10 seconds.
There's a kitty.
Did you have like a
I think
weird...
she was counting her Mississippis and everything. She was like, one Mississippi. So yeah, that was a rough one today. Anyway, came out of it alive. So I'm still shooting for the alien probing over the nose probing. That's a lot worse. But otherwise, fingers crossed. I should have a negative result. So back to public, guys.
Yeah, good luck, man.
Thank you.
Shout out to Potent Ponics in chat, man. I see him popping in there. He's got that aquaponics class he's got going on. If anybody's interested in that.
What date is that?
I think it's already started. I think it started on Friday. Or Friday, I think, was the last day to sign up, and maybe it started yesterday or today, maybe. I'm not sure. I know it's right around this time.
And you can get a hold of him on his Instagram account as well. What's that? Is it Potent Ponics as well?
Potent Ponics on Instagram, or right here through there's messaging features through YouTube also, I think. And it's like an ongoing thing, I believe.
Yeah, he launched Saturday.
Okay, he launched Saturday. But I think you can jump in anytime.
You want to go?
Yeah, there you go. It's all online anytime for anyone, he says. So there you go.
So if you want to give Steve a wrench, you can drop a link to it in chat for everybody.
Ooh, an on-the-fly wrenching? Wow.
He's well deserving of a wrench.
We're gonna have a knighting right here on the Michigan Bros.
I'm telling you, it's a rare moment.
That's how they all get knighted, man. I wrench them like that. I was looking up his Instagram so I could put the link in the chat. I haven't announced yet, but Potent Ponics Podcast has sponsored our show, and we got to thank them for their support in that. And so we'll be hearing more from them moving forward.
Definitely go back
and watch that. Did that during this show, so thank you very much for that, Steve.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, cheers,
Thank you,
Steve.
Easter Bunny.
Appreciate you, Steve. Thank you very much, man. You do a lot for the community, and it's recognized, man, and much appreciated.
Yeah, one of the true teachers.
OG,
There
man.
we
He's
go.
been
I
around
found-
forever. Forever he's been around. He's been just consistently putting shit out.
I dropped
He's
a
a man
link
of the
to his
page.
show in the
I mean, you
Recruits
changed
class in the chat.
the baller's whole life.
Right.
Look at all these fish he's got.
Yeah, the stuff that Steve brings up and the teachings that he has, like that just has my mind running wild when I have the funding to do something like that. I have some serious plans.
You're gonna rip up into those DMs, aren't you?
He does answer DMs. I've talked to Steve quite a bit.
Yeah, me too. About to be all up in them DMs, Steve. Watch out.
Slide.
Oh, I'm already in his DM.
Yeah, Brock, that's the aquaponics dude.
Just so you know, he's got 2 accounts. Watch out for Abolished Aquatics too, man. You got to block 2 people.
Well, at least I made him shorten that name.
Yeah, it was a long.
Yeah, that was a good.
That
idea.
was a good move. That was a good move. I do. That was a good move. I'll have to get on.
I mean,
board
it's
with
cool
that.
if you're on a keyboard PC and you go to tagging him, you hit the @ symbol, you start typing, you get there, and it's like, oh yeah, this dude. Try doing that shit on an iOS or something. You'd be like, this motherfucker.
I was just gonna say, if I got a keyboard, no problem. Not going to bitch. I gotta try to do that with my fat ass fingers on a little fucking keyboard. Nah, not happening.
Man. Yeah.
I really like the name though. I'm gonna have to keep it for like a series or something when we finally can do the KNF stuff.
I like the trident in the logo.
Oh man, I'm looking forward.
Whoever
to that,
came
dude.
up with the trident thing.
That is.
Yeah.
That's
It's
Miss
that
C.
Aqua, man.
She's
Thank
really
you.
good at that stuff. I was just like, I really need a logo, babe, and she sat down and put it together. She put together a couple of them, but that one with the trident going through, that's awesome. Then I got to take Spartan's Aquaman place in the intro for my aquatics page.
You bumped him. Yeah,
Dang, dude.
pushed him right out the picture.
That's okay. I can be.
Spartan. Okay, he feels all right about
Spartan,
it.
we still love you, man.
Man, that's tough.
But did you see the alter? He put me on Conor McGregor. I'll take that.
I know
yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
But-
Either one of those guys, I'm cool.
No, wait a
Yeah.
minute. Red is classic with the 6'9" though. He just looks so natural. Like, oh shit, it's 6'9".
You're probably a solid foot taller than Conor McGregor. Dude.
Yeah, I do. I will say,
for
like,
sure.
as far as the face swap thing goes, it did look convincing to me. Even that one when he did the Aquaman one. To me.
Like, damn,
Holy
you're gonna go
fuck.
fight somebody.
You look like Jason Momoa without your shirt on.
I was, yeah, pretty much.
Nice,
He
dude.
just slows down.
I was thinking about growing my hair out though. I don't know if I can do all that. I like. the
Martin,
hair
you just
without
need
that.
to like use that for your new like dating profile. Just put that video up.
Right,
Just
yeah.
put, just put a video up. Yeah.
Hey, did you see my trailer?
Famous.
Oh,
Face
shit,
swap,
man.
baby.
7 minutes until dab time.
What time?
7 minutes.
So what time?
Well, it's time for me to do a dab.
Hash time.
Thank you, Spartan.
Hashtag.
Thank you, Red.
I'll probably hash it up today, actually. Considering
Yeah,
I'm
we're getting a hash right here.
out of wax.
I have I got one of those fancy pea sticks. One of these, pretty good stuff. Trying to think lineage. I think it's like orange, tangy something. I don't know, man. I forget what's even in it. It's by Element though. I might hit this for hash time. Probably
That's
not. I'll
one
probably
thing
just
I
use
have-
some stuff.
What's that, painted lady?
I have not dabbed it up. I am a dab virgin, you guys.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
We can
Is that
help you with that.
crazy?
So
I'm an old school flower girl.
are
Violation.
you a pipe? Are you a joint? What's your preferred method?
Well, right now I've got
Oh,
Maynard.
Red's got a bong like that.
Yeah.
Red, check it out.
I'm
Yeah, awesome.
bonging it up right now, but normally I used to have a Da Vinci IQ flower vape, which I used to really like, but I dropped it one too many times, my bad, and it ceased working.
It's funny
So-
you mentioned that because for hash time, I'm going to use my Silver Surfer vape. So I'm going
Nice.
to load this up and put the hash rate in here.
Nice. Well, yeah, so I bought a rosin bum, a rocket, like back at 420 when they had their sale this year, and I had some Citradelic Sunset that I ran that was real like foxtaily and looked like it would press really well. So I just harvested and took the first top cola right off and pressed it. And I mean, I got a little bit out of it, and then it came with this little happy kit thing. So it came with like a little nectar collector, and I fired it up and I was like, is this it? Is that it? That's it? I don't know. It just didn't seem like the whole experience, like when you
it's
have
not.
a
You built
rig.
this anticipation up, and then you get let down very quickly. I felt it.
I mean, I was roasted for about 5 minutes, and then it went away, and I was like, well, what the fuck? I mean, I'm just kind of like, I fire up a bong 3 or 4 times, and then I'm baked for at least a good hour. But
Right.
I don't know. I mean, Dave's not here is coming to town, and he is going to show me how to dab it up. He's going to show me how to use the rocket and how to dab it up and how to press.
He's going to show you how to use the rocket.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Red rocket.
I mean, that was an interesting choice of words, wasn't it?
We got some content for our OnlyFans page. Well, that'd be our first content.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I was his first patron, so
First
only fair that he shows me, you know, at least returns the favor with showing me how to dab it up. So yeah, he's going to show me how to do that, how to use it, because I kind of want to be able to offer that for my patients too, because there are some that, you know, I have some that are like, do you do the carts? And I'm like, do I do carts? No, I don't do carts. I'm a grower. I grow weed.
Right.
But I don't know.
It's hard to get people to understand that.
And the cart game's vicious to get into.
Like most of the growers are growing because they're not interested in heavy metals and lead and
dude,
really?
just 10 years ago, all this shit wasn't here 10 years ago for probably 95% of the people out there.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to remember that. Like most people were like, hey, are you a joint, a bong, a pipe, or a blunt? What's your preferred method? You know what I mean? That's pretty much where it was forever. Shit, now you guys have fucking broke the game, and there's fucking 800 ways to get high now.
I know. I went to the High Times Cannabis Cup in Clio a few years ago, and I just went by myself because I wanted to get some good genetics, and I'm looking around at everything and all these people dabbing, and there's all this, you know, the free dab stations and all the booths, and I'm just like, everybody's putting their mouths all over it. Can you imagine that now? Oh, but I don't know. It was just amazing that nobody was interested in the flower.
Look at Spartan's thing he's got on his bong. Here, I'll spotlight him. He can show you his mouthpiece. This is a cool thing.
All right. Yep. Am I unmuted? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have a big thing in my fucking face that says unmute myself. I don't know why. So this is obviously been used quite a bit. That's why it's discolored. But it just sits inside a bong piece or any mouthpiece. That's why it's tapered. It'll fit in almost every piece, you know. And on the inside is a filter, a little carbon filter. They're replaceable. And these little filters are like less than $1 each to replace. I just put this in like literally 10, 15 minutes ago. It's already starting to tar up.
Just want to mention that because you could take that to a cup.
Yeah, and this comes with a lanyard. I just have it unclipped right now.
Nice.
So
that is pretty cool.
Just wear it around your neck and walk around.
Drop that in the rigs or whatever, and you can get your free dabs.
I've even put a joint in the end of this, and you could actually use it if you wanted to be retarded looking and smoke a joint with this.
It's a rig rubber.
Exactly.
A lip condom.
I think it's closer. Yeah, it's closer to a dental dam, I guess. But yeah.
And that's gonna bring us right up to hash time down here.
We haven't had dental dams mentioned on the show yet, but it is episode 69, so here we are.
Dental dams.
We gotta make sure we cover all the bases, man.
Everybody getting that hash ready? Oh,
Safety first.
All skill, Bo.
I'm rolling a big joint, so I'm gonna just drop hash inside of this thing.
Yeah, I'm rolling a big blunt too. I'm just gonna put a big old hash snake in there. Thanks to Skillbo bringing that washing machine over.
I should weigh this joint. This is a beast.
Cheers, bro.
Is it
I
that
bought all
giant?
those bubble bags too. I want to learn how to do the bubble hash also.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
we've got the people for that. We'll have
It
to get
was
you.
super
Yeah,
easy.
I've been watching you guys talk about all that stuff. So yeah, I really would like to start learning how to do all that stuff. So it's all really cool.
Polish, what
Interesting.
size bags were we using?
A 25, 73, and 220.
Speaking of bubble hash, Yeti Stash dropped in.
Yo, what up, Daddy?
He's our resident hash maker, rosin guy. Sorry, go ahead, guys.
Dude, this is the first
What's
time
up,
that I've
guys?
actually vaped this through the Silver Surfer, and hash tastes fucking super nice out of these, man.
What's up, Yeti? It's hash time.
What is that you guys?
That perfect timing.
Perfect timing, dude.
It's yeah, it's a vape. It's Silver Surfer.
Oh, okay,
There you
cool.
go. So it's like glass on glass and shit.
This
And
is a
there's a
hookah.
hose.
Yeah, with the hose.
Yeah,
Nice.
and when I bought this, I got it as like a factory blemish one for a lot cheaper, and it came with a really dope ass little fucking bong that hooks to this and everything. So I just use this for the most part, though.
That's
But one
cool.
good
Like a
thing about
water, like you
using-
can put water in that bong part, and so it'd be like filtered through
Yeah,
water too.
Fuck it,
That's
I'll
fucking
go,
dope.
I'll go grab it. Hold on.
That's cool, dude.
Those things are killer because, like, I got a funny story with it. My aunt, rest in peace, she grew her pretty much her whole adult life, and she grew some amazing cannabis, and like she got to try a vaporizer. It's probably about 15 years ago, something like that. And being a seasoned smoker, she smoked that vaporizer and then went outside and backed into, I think it was my dad or my uncle's car, and then backed into it 3 more times before pulling away and then coming in the house and saying she hit the car. And this lady just like, she was an OG.
Oops.
That's fucking awesome, man. It makes me want to try vapes again. I kind of swore off of them because they always ruin the flavor to me. When I can't find a flower vape that doesn't make it taste like shit.
Are you kidding? Have you tried the Da Vinci?
No. I think let me see. The Pax. I tried the fucking Firefly.
I just bought a Crafty on the Black Friday sale because my Da Vinci isn't working. The stores in Bickle.
I did have heard that those stores in Bickle are the best of the best of the best. So, I mean, that's probably what I have to go and get one of those fucking expensive things.
I'll let you know. It gets delivered Tuesday.
Oh,
I'm excited.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that one look like? What's the one that you ordered? It was called which one? Crafty?
The Crafty, there's the Mighty and then there's the Crafty. The Mighty is like kind of hand size, and then the Crafty is pocket sized.
Okay, so you got the smaller one. You don't have that big one with that big metal coil that Scotty's got on the deep.
No, this is just kind of like, I don't know. It just kind of looks like a grenade, but
yeah, okay, cool.
But it has the same size smoking chamber, like same size fillable chamber. So as the Mighty, but it's pocket size. So I'm not sure if it was a battery that was bigger in the other one. I didn't take the time to look, but I like the convenience of the portability more, so I got that. And I thought the flavor of even the Da Vinci was spectacular. Once I had started hitting with that, I would like, even the bong just didn't taste as good. So I'm eager for that to arrive because
yeah, Dave, that's cool. Dave told me he's gonna let me know how it is, so I'll have 2 opinions then.
Started off with the PAX 1. That's how long ago I started fucking with vapes.
Whose opinion are you going to trust more, Spartan? That's what I want to know.
I'll just listen to what they both have to say and make a judgment. I don't know. It'll be a judgment call, I guess.
Whose opinion sounds more crazy?
It seems like vapes are like almost like the OG dab, like a way to get like a concentrate rip and different flavor off of your flower, kind of.
An interesting way.
I remember looking into vapes when I was like, whatever, back in high school. I was like, what is this way? It's not combusting, and just the flavor off of it almost does remind me of, I don't know.
It definitely has its own
concentrate
taste.
rip.
You know what I mean? Like there's a certain taste to vaporized cannabis versus like true combustion of it, whether it's in a joint or a bowl or whatever. So it is different. The one thing that I like is I feel like the high is a little bit different. Sometimes it can be a lot more soaring because you just hit this like as slow as you possibly can. If you can hit it for like 20-25 seconds, just keep slow rip, you'll get a monster fucking rip, man. Cheers.
Yeah, it always seems like a really like uplifting, lightheaded kind of high, like
Yes.
real
yeah.
light on your throat, like very clean feeling.
I filled a hookah one time, like a hookah bowl, and I put the charcoal on top rather than just lighting the bowl, letting it burn or like mixing it with hash or something. And I just like put the charcoal on top, and it took forever, man. I think it burned for like an hour. Just I don't even know. And then it was still charred in there. It wasn't like black and ash. It was like it looked like it had gone through a vaporizer, and it really tasted like smoking on a volcano or like an old vaporizer, like an old school vaporizer. The flower vape I've had was like it actually worked better. It used dry sift in it, but it was like almost like a pen. It was just like a vape pen. Actually, it was a 510 thread. A little 510 thread, and it had pretty sure it was like a little hot coil or something inside of it that would heat something else up and vaporize it.
Those are
and
the really old
like
ones.
best used with like dry sift or something. It had like a little like dab out. You could like clean it out with like the tip of it depressed, so you could like clean it out. It was actually really cool. I still have it, but it hooks right to a 510 battery. It's pretty simple.
What's what I did is I took some of your dry hash and fucking like with these kind of vapes, when you have a whip, it's kind of cool is if it's, you've cleaned it out, all the other stuff out of it, you just suck in through the hose and you can like vacuum up the weed that you're going to use for it right out of your grinder, right off the tray. And it doesn't take much. You're probably using like 0.5 grams just to do this. And it's just a real small one, so I just put a small bed and then I just threw the hash on top of it. And then I can fuck with the temperature on it. In the beginning, I hit it low temperature, and as it goes on, I'll crank the temperature up on it until I can get like the last of it out of it. And typically, you would go through and you would take a pick and you would stir it like halfway through because you want to get a green hit, not necessarily like a brown hit, like an ABV. But then remember too, you can take the leftover stuff. That's what I mean by ABV is it means already been vaped. So you could literally take the used cannabis, put it in a jar, and at the end, that's like duff. You can do something with that. You can, people do it all the time. Look at that. Oof. Showboat.
Do not smoke that brown leftover stuff. I don't know from experience.
ABV. Yeah.
Already been vaped. I've heard that you can use that for edibles.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Like firecrackers or something, you know what I mean? Where you take like a Ritz cracker and some peanut butter, sprinkle some of that on top, mow down. You're looking awful GQ, Joe. Sharp there. Come on the show, ripping big. What's going on? How you feeling tonight?
Very good. Just wrapped up a long day in the washroom. Had some friends over. We got the washroom fully suited and renovated the last couple of days, and today was my first day working in there. So
what do you think?
I'm feeling very good.
Rewarding day?
For sure. It's like kind of when we realized that the forecast is looking cold and I can kind of work in more space now. I can use Mother Nature as the cool dot now.
Oh yeah.
So,
cheaper.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to get like 6 inches
sure.
of snow between tomorrow and like Wednesday. So
I did see that. Yep.
I like your
kind of
polish.
already seeing that summertime I'm gonna need a huge freaking mini split to cover the square footage that I'm working with, and the ice maker puts off so much heat that's a whole nother battle I have to face.
You need to put the ice maker in like its own little like lung room on the side, you know what I mean? So it's not heating up the interior space.
Yes, that's a very good idea.
I'm already getting looks at the supermarket with carts of ice.
Oh damn!
People like, why do you need 160
You
pounds?
can't throw parties right now, sir.
Like, man, I just keep stuff cold.
My fridge broke.
Ice baths.
Ice baths. Yeah.
Start bitching about the ice machine on your fridge. That always works.
Yeah, I was just telling me working at a restaurant, bro. Don't ask me. I'm just fucking ice machine's broken work.
It's great.
That's your
So
story.
I wonder.
That's a good one, Scobo.
I wonder having your freeze dryer in your shed if it's kind of a detriment because it's going to exhaust heat.
It does, but
It definitely does.
I won't hash while it's running. You know what I'm saying? So it's room, I can change the temperature in a matter of minutes just by opening the door.
Yeah.
I was
Say
just thinking, I was just kind of thinking in my head. I'm just thinking. So in that whole system, your bottleneck is probably your freeze dryer, and so the freeze dryer is probably to be completely what do you want to call efficient. You probably want that thing running all the time. And if it's running all the time, it's in your hash. I could see where that would be an issue. That's just where my mind went. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll have to do batches and then, process the batch and stuff. Plus, I got my chest freezer in here, that puts off heat. A lot of little things put off heat. So, yeah. But what I do, like I said, I can just, open the door, change the temp in here real quick, shut the heat off, and freeze dryer's not running, and, it'll hold 34 degrees in here really easy.
Yeah. Just open the door.
Yeah, right now, and then next year we'll have to do like Joe and add the mini split, which we're going to talk to Red about. Because I hear
got you.
It's your time to shine, Red.
I'm trying to figure out how to compensate for the other things like you were saying that put off heat that's already in there. Like, do you just go way overkill with BTUs on the mini split?
I think it's easy in a small area. We'll be able to override all that. I think, if we're pushing 12 tons, and in this little room, I'll be able to compensate for those machines running. So.
For sure. I did see that they have like mini split setups for the ice makers also, so you can have the condenser outside.
Oh yeah,
which would be beneficial.
For sure.
That's fucking dope.
I
like some like next level problems that these guys are talking about here.
It's things that you're going to probably run into as an issue, and they're kind of tipping each other off to it. So if you can get it early in the bud during design, I think it's fantastic for you guys to all be cool with it and put your heads together and shit.
It's really fascinating to talk about. I'm just thinking about like how few people are worried about like their 34-degree shed,
Walk-ins.
Just
I love the passion, man. I would never put in that dedication to the hash, but I love listening to you guys talk about it. Like, kudos.
Thanks.
Yo, I'm the same thing. I'm super interested in it, but you don't see me making any fucking hash. I'm just
but why would you? Exactly. Why would you do that when you have a finished product that you really like? If you want some hash, you know that you can go to friends and enjoy it that way.
And it's just super fucking interesting, man. I just love learning about all the different techniques, honestly, to me.
It seems like there's so many things that I can do to go wrong. You know what I mean?
That's like anything in this field, just fucking do it. Like, especially organics, it's so scary to so many people. Just fucking do it. I meant to ask Painted Lady about that. Have you actually made any steps towards organics, or what made you want to do that?
What made me want to? I've always been interested in it, and I've heard that the flavor is unbeatable, and of course, just all these bottles. I go through so many bottles. And so, I mean, not only the expense that I've just really been wanting to go that route anyway. So, this probably with the next couple of weeks, I meant to, actually I asked my local grocery store here in town if they carried that M3 that you were talking about. And he does not, but he said they had a couple other people that had asked him about it too. So he was hoping to get it. And I said, well, that's what I was looking to do. And if I couldn't get that, then I guess I'm just going to go the Pete route and just start, with all my own inputs.
Bitch, if you reached out to them, they, like on Instagram, M3.
Yeah.
It's a weird long name on Instagram. It's like M3 is the first one. And then after that, it's like Swanson something.
Okay.
It's a picture. The picture was a bag of the M3, I think is what it was. But there's other soils too that I've tried out. And I can also recommend, like Detroit Nutrient Company, water only would be my second choice.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm not exactly sure where you're located, but it's pretty available a lot of places here in Michigan. And there was another one I can't remember.
Morgan's makes a good one.
Yeah, Morgan's, which is the Dairy Dew people.
Okay, yeah, I've seen Dairy Dew. Yeah.
What for?
I've heard a lot of good about Coast of Maine. the strong
Yep.
blend.
Yeah.
I've heard good about that too.
What
Booze
are you
blends,
gonna
man.
are you gonna try the
I've
sub
heard Roots has one. So.
Are you just gonna go in the regular pots, or are you looking at sub irrigation, or how are you going that route?
No, I like
Raised
regular
beds.
pots. I like to hand water. I like regular pots. I like attention. I like to look at every single plant every single day.
What size pot or what size plant when you harvest your plant? About what's the average size of that plant as far as like if you had to give me a height and width or
She's
whatever?
getting 20 ounces. She's growing some monsters.
that lemon Jeffrey was about 6 feet, a little over 6 feet.
So you could definitely put them in 10 gallons.
What size pots are you growing in now?
7s are usually my I think I had, was that lemon Jeffrey? No, that lemon Jeffrey was in a 7. So
When you pulled that out, how was the root ball on that one? Was it totally just?
Well, it was in a radical bag, so there, the root ends are just all. There's not really like a massive root ball. So, it really, that plant. And honestly, I've got another clone of it right now that's in flower 3.5 weeks in too, and it's hard to keep up with it nutrient wise. So I couldn't imagine running it like with just teas and stuff. Yeah.
So what you got to do, so in organics, and this is kind of why I was asking all these questions leading towards this, is you're just going to have to compensate that for with pot size in organics. So you're going to have to increase your pot size so you can increase your, we'll call it your nutrient battery in the soil, so you don't run out of nutrition because you're growing some monster plants as compared to what other people usually grow. So to compensate, you just got to go to bigger pots. And if you're already in 7 gallons now, I would jump that up probably 2 steps at least. I would be looking at maybe 15 gallon pots to try to mimic the same results.
Yeah.
Because you have to remember, you're not pouring nutrition on, like when you said with teas and stuff.
Right.
I don't even use teas. Teas would be if I saw, it's trying to fix a deficiency or something, then I would use a tea, but I'm trying to make it so that I don't have to use a tea and I can give it just water all the way through. And so you compensate by putting all that nutrition in the soil.
I see.
Just go with a bigger pot to get the same results. If you go with the same size pot, you're going to get a much smaller plant, or you're going to get one that just runs out of nutrition halfway through flower.
Now, wouldn't that make it grow taller too, though? Because I do have a height limitation down there.
No,
I would say the length of veg would be something.
So the size,
dial your genetics in on it.
Yeah, the size and shape of your pot also determines kind of the size and shape of your plant. So as these pot sizes get bigger, they don't necessarily get much taller. They just start getting wider.
All right.
And because of that, the plant roots are going to do the same thing. They're going to spread out wider, and then the plant above it's going to kind of spread out wider instead of being tall. If you put a plant in a tall, skinny pot, it's going to, like if you put it in a solo cup, they grow tall and skinny. But if you put it in a plant that's a little wider, they make some pots that are even wider than they are tall. If you put them in something like that, the roots are going to spread way out, and the plant's going to kind of spread out with it. So yeah, it will, yes, for sure, grow taller. But you can use plant training by bending it down or using stakes or whatever your technique is, crop, whatever you want to do. But it shouldn't be like massive amount of difference, I don't think, as far as height goes.
Well, that's what I plan on doing. Is just I like to get an organic started so that I can run them side by side, the same pheno, and run it side by side with my bottles, and just to see the difference in the end, overall, like everything. And I just think it'll be really interesting. So,
sure. So is your goal to actually reuse the soil, or do you want to do organic runs? You're gonna do a new batch of super soil or something every run?
No, I would like to reuse it. I think that would be, because I can't tell you how many just dumped out in the backyard, like just
that
pots.
Was me before I got raised.
Oh, we're all growers.
Yeah. And my 70-year-old neighbor is probably just over there going, what in the fuck is happening over there? But
this lady can't grow a house plant to save her life.
She's building berms in the backyard and shit.
No, she knows. She knows. She's made.
I think you're just killing aloe over and over.
Right.
But yeah, I would love to just recycle, reuse everything, and just run it against the bottles and just see the difference and flavor and everything in the end. And it'll be really cool because, I would love to. I'm looking at start maybe something up, and we're looking at going into the organic route and maybe eventually turning it into RSO. And I would like to have the cleanest possible end product for those patients. So,
shout
Which
out
bottles
for
are you
being
using
an
now?
awesome caregiver, man.
I use Bloom Yellow bottles. It's an Australian company. Nobody's heard. Everybody's
Yeah, I
like,
never heard of that.
oh, nobody knows. Yeah, it's
That's cool.
I've heard of them. They were at Grow Green pushing their bottles there on one of their things.
Yeah.
That's
It
where
sounded, They sounded legit. I didn't see anything wrong with it. It's just I wasn't looking for synthetics.
Yeah. I mean, I've run everything. Advanced, Fox Farm, GH, Veg Bloom, everything. And Bloom Yellow bottles have made my girls the happiest. So I'm just going to try it against the organic and see what the difference is. So I'm stoked to do this winter.
Yeah, I would definitely double, if not triple, the pot size if you want to reuse them, like Spartan was saying, because I mean, I've done the no-till and the regenerative route in the 5s and the 10s. It's just harder to balance those, and you sound like you have a full plant count. So like the bigger pots will be a lot easier. You won't have to do half as much work and half as much worry.
Okay, so I got one to shoot to you. Is I grow in a fabric 4x8 raised garden bed, right? And it's a living soil one, so it's got like the plastic on the inside to keep it from drying out. You can get these in crazy sizes, and for your open space plan, I would almost look into getting the smaller ones where you could put 2 plants in it. They're probably 18 inches tall, probably you can get it 18 inches wide. They'll build it to whatever size you want, and then maybe like 3 feet. And then you can just keep reusing this over and over and over. And if you put those on like a pallet with some wheels underneath it, since you have that open floor plan, you could start them in as seedlings or veg or whatever you wanted to do, and then just be able to roll that right into your flower space, which could be really cool for you to be able to just stop putting soil out in the backyard, stop throwing money out in the backyard that you're never going to be able to reclaim. I built my shit originally with several months worth of 7-gallon plastic pots that I had, and I ran for a long time. So mine holds 300 gallons of soil. Oh, it's a rare appearance by DOG. Holy shit. We just usually hear him whining on the late sesh. He's such a happy boy.
Yeah, I think the way my strategy in the case, just from what you've told me, I think I would just try to do one plant first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just start out with a soil like the M3, whatever you choose. It doesn't have to be M3. That's just the soil that I like. Mm-hmm. That's going to be your basic grow. You can once you get the watering, that's really all you have to figure out is water frequency at that point. Once you get that figured out, then you can try to add all these other things, you know what I mean, to try to tweak and squeeze out extra terpenes or whatever you're looking for to do. You can make those tweaks. What I would be aiming towards though is a bed. They make these long fabric beds.
Yeah, those are
soil
nice.
beds, and so that you can practice your craft for the next step, right? Because when you get to the commercial level, what really makes sense in organics for you to really leverage, because you're going to be pushing against lower yield. So at the commercial level, now you're like another hurdle that you're putting in front of yourself. So you have to like think out of the box. Like, for example, in my just my opinion, my strategy would be like looking at a greenhouse setting. You know what I mean? That way you can leverage the light in the summertime at least to account for, some of that profit loss in a bigger yield. I'm not saying you can't eventually get those yields, but it takes a while to dial in organics, a lot longer than it's going to any synthetic situation. You dial that in, within your first 1, 2, 3 crops, maybe, then you got it dialed in. You just repeat it, not so organics, So.
Yeah, and I happen to work in a commercial organic facility, and the way, like you said, you battle with yields, but the way you battle with that is plant count. You have a max plant count, you can overcome the yield factor and still maintain high quality. We're in a water only organic operation, Class C.
Now, Dan, do you have separate pots there all the way through flower? Or
Yeah,
do you guys plant in
there's
the
7 flower.
seven.
Yeah.
Do they stay pretty early on in the 7s? Like after like a 1 gallon, they go straight to 7, or do you step them up a couple times?
I gotta be careful what I say.
Oh, okay. You
Um,
just say if you step it up more than once. If you go from a clone into something other than a 7.
Minimal of times.
Makes sense.
What are your guys' thoughts on Synganics?
It's funny.
I love it, man. I did it for quite a few years.
Yeah,
It worked.
I did too.
I kind of ran a little bit of that too, like, full organic base, feeding them organics, and then finding like one product that like was mostly organic. Like I like Big Swell as my go-to from I really like Roots Organic products, but yeah, that's one from their Soul line that I just noticed like running organics round after round. Once I added that Big Swell, it was like yields were there now, and I didn't notice like, I guess, a dip in quality. I want to say ran with that for a bit. I don't know what you guys think. I feel like it's kind of cheating a little bit, maybe.
Well, that's what got me to go into the organics, was doing the Synganics route, bringing in the microbes and seeing how much more that brought to my flavor. I was like, okay, I got to keep going with this.
So, for my opinion, I was just kind of talking about this on the last show.
man.
Yeah. My opinion is that I think if you want to try to, if you're in an organic situation and you want to try to introduce a synthetic, or how I would, the only really one that I really like to do would be like a foliar spray. That way I'm not really applying it to the root zone. I'm not really affecting my microbes and all that in the root zone. I'm just spraying it. It's synthetic and it's affecting the microbes on the leaves or the phyllosphere, whatever you want to call it, but I'm not, nuking my soil, at least. So, because what I mean by nuking the soil is, we all know that, should know at least, that the synthetic nutrition is just absorbed as soon as it hits a root, right? It's like what we say, a force feed or whatever. But really, when the organic microbes are breaking down things into a plant available form, it's almost the exact same form. It's like an ion anyway, and it works the same way. So if as a plant you have to give up some of your sugars to attract microbe broken down nutrition, to get those microbes around you to break down the nutrition to get it, or you have an alternate source that's coming around that you can just directly absorb, of course it's going to stop pushing out those exudates, right? And so then I think if you keep adding synthetic nutrition, it kind of either confuses the plant or slows it down when it's trying to figure out which way it's trying to eat, right?
There's those many splits that Dan was talking about.
Yeah, man.
Was that red?
What about
red on the remote view?
The LG.
Spartan, what do you think about products like I guess like Pure Blend Pro that are like a base nutrient that's like basically saying that it's like almost organic, but then you see that there are some synthetic like additives in it, so it obviously isn't an organic product?
I don't know. I would
It's
have to
like
look at the product to
Synganic.
see exactly why, what exactly is because there's some like phosphate is usually attached to a salt, so most of the phosphates that are added in organic is really not really an organic under that definition, but it's still accepted, right? So it all depends on exactly what we're talking about. And that's another thing. It's which pushed me more toward my style of organic gardening, is I'm using these raw inputs, so I know what the fuck I put. You know what I mean? There's no guessing. I'm not hiding behind proprietary bullshit fucking formulas. I'm putting in the raw thing, like a malted barley, or whatever the fuck the input is, a gypsum or something like that.
BioLive.
Yeah, I'm going to the source instead of going through 10 middlemen and getting the fucking product in a fancy package.
Natural inputs.
But it's a good way to get people in the door. Like that's the only reason I like products like that. Like it'll make people say, "Oh, okay, I'm tired of spending this money, but I like the organic taste." Because companies like Nectar for the Gods, you can't tell. You have a hard time telling the difference between that and somebody that does regenerative. Like,
Nectar,
really good nectar grower.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Like there's some bottled lines like I don't know, the Roots Organic line. I mean, I was using terp tea as a base nutrient, and then just like their organic line is just like liquid guanos, which I mean, you could for sure just be like mixing that raw amendments into the soil. But like in my head, there is something about like the control of it that I really liked. Like being able to be like, I'm giving them this much of like whatever fish right now, and being able to cut off their food at the end of the cycle and being like, you're actually going to flush right now, even though, you know, maybe it's not necessary. I don't know. I just like forcing that like fade and that flush at the end, I guess. The control. I don't know.
You sound very synthetic minded. I mean, I would say don't fight it and embrace that. Go the way that you like. And
yeah, I definitely, that's how I'm running now for sure.
Yeah,
I've given in.
Go for it, man.
Just running Botanic Air now on the, my partner actually hooked us up for Christmas and got us a doser to make life a little bit easier.
That's super cool.
So yeah, that's turn on the water pump and
I just want to stress, like, the way that I grow is my style, and it's ever changing too. I didn't start growing the way that I'm growing here at home, and it's an ever changing process for me. And it's what, you know, whatever my beliefs, my ethos, whatever. That's just my journey, right? And I'm not saying that's the only path. You know, there's many paths to the end of, you know, to get to dankness. It's cool to see that. And I love sharing stories that way. So don't think that, you know, there's only one way of doing things. Like I said with Painted Lady earlier, it's like I've grown far more plants synthetically than I have organically. It's just I choose, you know, from my style of growing, tried both ways. I prefer my product organic, and that's why I choose to do it that way. But I'm not saying that that's the only way to do it by any means.
No, not at all. You can so kill it in a synthetic environment. Like if you know exactly what your plant needs, you're hitting everything. You're getting those secondary metabolites. You know, all the terpenes are just pouring out. You can totally do it in synthetic. It's just harder to do. It's way easier to do with a regenerative, organic, whatever setup.
I don't know, man. Those guys that use just Jacks and fucking Epsom salts, their weed's pretty good, man.
Works pretty good, man.
And that's exactly what I'm saying is you can get there with all that. It's just it's a lot harder. You have to fine tune it a lot more.
I think you guys make pretty good points in that, like, every grower just has to find the system that works best for them, whether it's a nutrient line that has less bottles or more bottles or no water or, you know, whatever.
I came at it backwards. You guys were talking about trying to toss in some synthetics with organics. And I came at it when I started growing. I picked up the General Hydroponics 3-part, and I grew with that for a really long time. But I had a really good friend who owned a grow shop. So I would go in there and talk to him a lot. And I would only half remember shit. So then I would start getting these ideas. And I was like, you know what, man? I really want to start making my veg plants bush out more. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm going to buy this kelp. So I bought some liquid kelp and I started using that, you know. So here I am, I'm using something that is like a 3-part synthetic and I'm adding a natural ingredient like kelp. So I came at it that way for a while. And that's what made me eventually go, you know what, man? For a lot of different reasons, I think I'm going to choose to go this way for a little while. But just because I do it this way now, something else may come along. I may change again. I'm not going to die on this hill. And I think really what it comes down to is everybody that's on this panel and most people that are in this chat, you like growing cannabis. And I'm here to tell you, I'm glad you do too. And I don't give a shit how you do it. Just do it the best that you can. And let's try to share when we see each other.
Like Spartan said, it's an ever-changing thing anyway. You know, even if you're doing it one way now.
Well, you started off with some bottles and dropped them, and you picked up other bottles or amendments. Or
well, I was in my indoor grow is in the same exact place that Painted Lady is in now, where like I was paying a lot of money for liquid nutrients, and I was interested in like a different solution, right? And rather than going the organic route indoors, I went with Jax instead, basically because I had come across Red and smoked his flower. And I was very impressed with what he was able to do at the cost that he was able to have. So I was able to keep doing the synthetic thing at a lower cost and have really good results.
And low number of inputs. It's like what? 3 things you use or something?
Yeah, and it's really easy. But outdoors, we did it the opposite way because we were already using the sun. So why not also use soil? So we did soil grown, water only organics outdoors.
Which you're reusing.
Yeah. So
nice buds, right?
Understanding that like you can truly do it every different way. It was funny to like some of my followers thought it was funny that I was tagged in a meme today that said I was an organic grower, because on the show I used to be known as just a synthetic grower until we built the greenhouse. But now that we built the greenhouse, we have this huge greenhouse full of organic flower. Now, some people view me as more of an organic grower. So it's all about like, being open to all these ideas and like learning from all these different points of view that people are willing to share with you, because all of them are relevant, because you never know when you're going to want to do it the other way.
Okay, the true question is what do you refer yourself as?
I just refer myself as a grower. Yeah.
Exactly, bro.
I just really like growing plants. I was complaining in the pre-show about like how much non-plant stuff that I have to do, or that we have to do as growers, even, especially at the like more large scale, I guess, like the greenhouses. You have to wear a lot more hats, right? And when you start to do a job enough that you start to do it well, you're like, damn, I'm really wasting my time, and I should be growing plants right now. I shouldn't be doing carpentry work right now. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
But it's like being a small restaurant owner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have to learn how when the pipes break and shit. Like you can't always afford to pay somebody to get that shit in. You better get it working.
As a grower, you're everything from an accountant to a small business owner. Everything, every part is involved with keeping it working.
I want to give Red a shout out on this awesomely engineered room that we just keep gaga over.
This is amazing. I love this garden tour right now.
I wanted to shout out to Potent Ponics too. He made a great point about the different learning the different styles. You can learn different things about your plant too. He says you learn so much from different methods, especially when you look at like terp profiles. You'll see certain methods peak, certain terp groups will be different in different styles, even different grow styles.
Okay, so
That's been interesting. So I've noticed differences. So my strains are in the greenhouse and my strains are indoors, right? So certain strains have been very, very much the same. So like we've noticed that Citral Glue is probably Mac 1 was like identical indoor and outdoor.
Like exactly the same.
The Citral Glue was very similar indoor and outdoor. The sour melon though got a lot better in the organic system, I think. So like some strains it's hard to tell.
When I went to Abolish and Miss C's house to do the hash run, I made sure to take some of this abolished OG that I've had jarred up since, I don't know, I think I said it was 8 months. It was probably from March, yeah. So I let him try it, and I said, I just want to know what you taste different about this, or what is coming through. And let me see, are they still in the show? I'm still looking at red screen here on the master view. There we go. Yeah, they're down there.
No, you're good.
Yeah, we're right here.
Okay. So what did you guys think of that? What was different about it as the time went on for like the cure and shit?
So,
you can go ahead.
I was gonna say the flavor to me was like completely different, but it was still the same feeling, like the same effect when I smoked it. But I couldn't quite pinpoint what I thought it tasted like.
I thought the cinnamon was way more pronounced once it was cured. And it was super, super smooth, Scobo. Like no cough at all. I still got a little bit left.
And that's, like your shit can be so different if you just give it time. You have to figure out how this specific plant wants to be grown. And it goes back to what Palin Lady is trying to go through right now. Is she's got a plant that wants to throw 20 ounces at her if it's done like raring to go on the RPMs. It's scary to fuck with that on a large scale. We're talking about, it's the cost of a Ram truck. You start fucking around with stuff like that.
Pretty much.
He's doing it for a good reason, though.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing. That's the great thing about it is you, as a caregiver, you're not doing this to try to charge more. You're doing this more from a standpoint of this is what I'm trying to offer my patients to, which, there's not enough people that are like you anymore. So shout out.
Yeah, just don't let it take you under or anything like that. Make sure you're still covered when you're switching over.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Rasta Bob even told me that. Don't throw away your bottles, he said. Don't throw away all your bottles.
Right.
So, no, I definitely am not going to.
Yeah, I mean, if the plant count allows, add one plant and do it the fucking new way until you figure it out. Then start gradually change it over. I wouldn't invest all of it all at once.
Yeah, because you're not even going to see the full potential of those beds until like 3 or 4 runs in, maybe even 5. Like skill
sir. Yes, sir.
Well, and this lemon Jeffrey pheno that I came across that I pulled that 20 ounces off of, I can't even imagine what the flavor would be like any better than it already is. So that's why I really want to run this organic, because if it's better than that, and then yeah,
there's a chance it might be about exactly the same. I've experienced that.
Yeah,
but there's a chance it could be better for sure.
Just a little bit different tone or something out of it, but you might have unlocked everything that strain had to do in synthetics already.
Well, regardless, I'm excited to see the difference of what I pull. Yeah. So I ended up with 3 different phenos of the lemon Jeffrey and 3 different phenos of orange gasm, and that lemon Jeffrey, that's the one pheno just blew all of them away. So yeah, that's the one I want to run in organics. Just, like Spartan said, just one plant of each and run them that way this winter and see what happens. Because, in Michigan, the winter crop is always the best. We always get the best environment.
Easiest to manage.
Yep.
So like one thing we've noticed that I want you to take into account when you're comparing the two, so you don't judge the organic one too harshly, is when we've ever taken like a synthetically grown clone, it takes a few runs before it adjusts to the organic system.
Okay.
It starts pumping it out.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, for sure. I definitely want to continue with the organics. So it's just one of those processes right now where I'm trying to narrow down what strains I want to eventually run in the system. So that lemon Jeffrey is going to be one of them. And then there are a couple ethos sequence. I don't know if you ever ran grape diamonds, but that was one of my favorites.
Citral Glue has been one of the best strains out of the greenhouse as far as potency and like density and all of the stuff, mold and bug resistance and all that stuff.
Yeah, I have that. I just haven't run it yet. So yeah, just trying to narrow down what strains I want to run and then figure out what the difference is in organics versus synthetics and go from there.
Another thing I would encourage you to do, it doesn't have to be every run or anything like that, but as you're dialing in, say you have a process dialed in for your organic grow or whatever, grab you a gram and take it down to Side Labs and have them run a test. Or actually, it might be more if you want to do the whole panel, but they'll test. They'll do an R&D test, they call them, and it's kind of expensive, but still, then you'll know if your process is something that would pass, the state testing, and you'll already know before you invest in buying a building or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It could save you
exactly. Yeah, that was my intention. Is once I get my strains narrowed down and dialed in, and then the testing is gonna start happening from there. And that's the plan. So we'll see what happens. But I'm excited to start the organics, see what the difference is for sure.
That's exciting stuff.
There's always another thing to try. You'll never run out of that. If anyone's
learned
anything from growing.
Do you guys like to use RO with your organic like living soils, or is it too much of like a stripping water?
That's what I'd be worried about. Like you're gonna have to buffer it before you put it in there. So like, why are you even doing that? Taking everything out to put it back in.
What do you guys like to do?
We use well water in our organics.
Yeah, I just use filtered water. It's not RO.
Yeah.
That way I keep some of those minerals in there.
Right on.
I just really am trying to strip out, honestly. I'm just trying to strip out because I have city supply. So I'm just trying to strip out some of the chemicals, and I'm fine with the minerals. You know what I mean? Whatever. And so it's not that important to me as long as the ppm, like if I was getting 1,000 ppms out of the tap or something, yeah, I would be concerned, obviously. But no, it's not even close to that. So I'm not really too concerned. Usually that's going to be calcium, calcium or maybe a little bit of iron from maybe if you have rusty pipes.
So it seems like almost like RO is better for hydro, and just like a solid well water, filtered city water would be your best bet for organic living soils. So you're like,
or if you wanted to be, safe, you could do like some kind of a I don't know if that would be, I don't know if you could get away with it being organic though. Like some kind of I was thinking like a calcium charge to the water.
Yeah, like there's a couple organic CalMags. Like I know Roots makes one. I don't know how many are on the market as far as liquid calciums, but you could always just mix it into the soil.
Yeah, it's something I would
at a heavier rate.
Yeah, I would be thinking calcium to try to balance out that.
And I think if you run RO in soil, you run into more micronutrient issues.
We're going to use
that. Get you some more fish tanks, Yeti, and you're covered there. Just use that water.
What about that commercial level, Dan? You guys have you do RO there? Or no?
This rig.
God damn.
Good grief.
He's always got an awesome rig.
Super dope. He just...
The slurper. Yes, they do.
Bougie.
Bougie.
We need to do a little like
that. Show
rigs,
us those
Yeti.
marbles, man. Those marbles.
He's pretty cool, so I'm trying to figure out what he's compensating for with this badass rig he's got.
I don't know, man.
But I don't know yet.
You're muted, Yeti.
He's muted.
He's still cool.
Say shout out to Global Glassworks on this one.
Crazy.
Even the bottoms worked on it. Freaking crushed this one.
Wild, man.
I
really need to get a nice piece I only use on the live because my bongs always look haggard, but they get used.
You just got to learn to clean them, bro.
You got to clean them like every day.
Hard.
We know who's doing the real cleaning of the bongs over there.
Yeah.
Who's doing the heavy lifting?
Yeah. I just cleaned it.
Big difference, huh? Oh, there you go.
Don't bang them into each other, Spartan. We can't have a casualty in the... Spartan's octopus is a little bit dirty.
She's due for a soaking.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm well dirty. I've used the fuck out of them, but like Abolish said, I use them.
Gotta use them.
It's not art. It's fucking a tool.
It's functional.
Functional art, they call it.
Dude, I was at the glass store today, and they had what was called, I don't know what the fuck it was called. It was like a bowl, a classic, like a bowl of cereal, and you could also smoke out of this thing. It had a bowl, and where you would put the bowl up to like drink the milk is where you were hitting this fucking piece from. It was huge.
That's kind of gross.
That's genius.
It was crazy, man.
It's great.
I seen that. If anybody's interested, that was BDT Chesterfield, like an Gratiot. That's where I seen that today.
Well, you know it's near the holiday time if Scobo's at the glass shop, so...
You know what it is. Always, it's time for that PSA, guys. You ready? If you have a friend, like a real friend that you
bought me this one
and everything else, buy them a piece of glass, man. Now, see, the thing about that is it's kind of dope, but it's like, it's nice and heavy too. You know, it's going to be a warrior piece.
The last time that I talked about how you could club someone with this, we got taken off the air.
Okay, no shit. We ain't going to do that again.
No violence.
I was talking about it, and we were immediately taken off the air. Wow.
Christmas is coming, guys. You know what I'm saying? If you've got it to give it to get it.
Yeah, I give a big shout out to Nut Tree 420 for this Alien OG he left me with Tara yesterday. It's pretty fire, man. Thank you very much.
This is pretty good. I smoked some of his blue gelato. Man, I can't remember his exact blue gelato cross, but it is really good.
Oh man, yeah. He showed up and left me a whole sample pack, and it was amazing. Thank you very much.
There's a couple of blues in there too.
Yeah, I don't have them with me. They're in the house, but yeah, man, this Alien OG is fire, man. Thank you very much.
I got the sesh with him too. Him and Tara brought over two different types. What was the one that I liked?
I don't remember exactly.
I can't either. There was one that I liked. Yeah.
I smoked this Durban Poison last night, and that was right on point, man.
What flavors were you getting off of that?
Oh, just nice peppery and really good. Fucking got me up and going when I needed it for that late night run, you know.
Durban's one of my favorites. I love Durban.
I have a Durban Cindy 99 cross called Winnie that I got it from Eagle Garden. Shout out to Eagle on that one. And that's in flower right now. This thing is 100% sativa to me, man. She's got the super long Jack Skellington kind of long fingery leaves, and even the sugar leaves just like pull straight down on it. Oh man, super lemon smell coming off.
I think it really says a lot about Durban Poison that it's been one of the strains that's stuck around, you know?
Still get used in crosses.
We're like, you know, skunk got lost, a bunch of stuff got lost, but Durban's still around.
Ooh, can we go back to that early talk when we were talking about GG4 and all those other S1s and shit? I just want to say the real skunk may be out there, but me and Abolished are still searching. That's what pisses me off when they call it skunk one. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn.
No, everybody that thinks they have a skunk think they have skunk one. So like, you got to try them all. But
me and Skillbo are reaching out to you OGs out there, you guys that have had the original skunk one. Me and Skillbo need it in our life. Just wasted a year hunting it from seed.
Need some apple pine.
Now I will say the skunk one that we grew
yields
greenhouse
like a
was really good.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was skunk one.
No, it's more. I have to tell my friends. I'm like, it's more like a old school Sweet Island skunk to me.
I could see something like that. Yeah,
it's got more of that flavor.
It was big, chunky buds. You know, easy to trim. I can't complain about it. It just wasn't, you know, skunk one or whatever.
Hey, OGs, I'll make it worth your while. My cheese cut is over 15 years old. You might like that too.
Yeah, if you like old strains, we got old strains.
It's not like a Ken Dog leaning plant, is it?
Skunk is Afghan, right? Like all Afghan, I think. It's like one of the predecessors to most of the things.
It was one of those weird lineages where you go back with the Thai crossed with Mexican crossed with, you know, whatever.
Okay, that just makes me remember a trip back to went on vacation to Jamaica, and all I wanted to do there was tour a ganja field and fucking talk to the whatever dude working at the hotel. Brought me over to his buddy's place, took me on a fucking little tour of his backyard garden, little rainforest there. And that's what he was growing, a field of skunk. They're like these little 3-foot plants, single spear plants, and
sounds
super
pretty accurate.
Bright pink hairs they threw off. I remember that was the first time I've ever seen that. And that's like all he had access to. He said that somebody came and like killed everybody's crops in the area, and all they had were skunk seeds.
Oh well, there you go.
So now shit, maybe that's the place to source it.
Oh shit.
That was Negril. Might need to make a trip out there, search out the skunk.
You're gonna have to ask that guy if he's got any seeds left.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I remember his name was High Grade.
Of course it was.
So I can't find it.
2 points better.
Before I forget, I want to.
My name is Too Stoned.
Before I forget, I want to try to answer this question. It scrolled by in chat, and I've been scrolling up, and I can't find it again. But it had to do with they were adding lime to their soil to try to raise the soil pH, and it wasn't raising fast enough for them. You can easily overdo it with lime, so just stop adding the lime for one. It brings dominant lime brings magnesium too. It's almost like organic CalMag, so you could really overdo magnesium and lock out a lot of things. I would, I mean, if you're just looking for, you're not really looking for calcium, but you're just looking to bring that soil pH up, you can get pretty liberal with baking soda. Just sprinkle some baking soda, water that shit in, and it's going to make I mean, they'll have recommendations probably on the package of baking soda for a soil amendment. Follow those. And that works pretty quickly too to raise the soil pH. So if you're not looking for you don't have a calcium deficiency, you didn't mention that. You said you were trying to just raise the pH of the soil. I would be more apt to go for that baking soda than calcium, because you're running into messing with nutrient lockout possibility where you're adding too much of a nutrient and being an antagonist towards other nutrients. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to answer that question.
I was reading about skunk one, trying to find out more, but I couldn't find out anything interesting that I wanted to share in the air. So that's a bummer.
Would you guys like to run CO2 ppms in the flower cycle? Trying to dial in this garden that I'm running.
Probably depends on what par you're hitting. You know, more par, more ppms. I run 1,000, but not for any particular reason. You know, it's just
that's what I hope for. Is
yeah. I don't want to waste gas, you know.
Yeah, it seems to make my bottles last a little longer than if I ran them at 1,200. So, yeah, 1,000 is what I use.
What I've heard, if you're running synthetics, are you running synthetics?
I am, but it's just like a base nutrient and a solid ppm that I give them throughout the cycle. I don't really adjust it much.
What I've usually heard is to match the ppms to your ppm or your ppms of your nutrient. So if you're feeding at 1,000, put 1,000 CO2 also.
Gotcha.
Dude, sweet! You just backed up the whole ppm argument where I got scorched earlier about the granddad ways of not working in EC. Was it you sequence that got me on Lake Touch for that? I think it might.
You don't. But I mean, that's just a general rule of thumb. Another thing you can do is if you have monitors in there, you can kind of see how much they're eating if you don't supplement any CO2. You know what I'm saying? For example, shut off your CO2 for, get it up to whatever level, 1,000, 1,500, whatever the hell it is. And see how quickly it takes for that room to fucking eat up CO2. And it can give you an idea of, the rate in which it's eating CO2, and you can try to make your calculations from there and try to dial it in if you wanted to really dial it like to the minute or whatever. But generally speaking, I mean, I don't generally see very many, even at the commercial setting, over 1,500 in the flowering stage, and a lot of them are lower than that. At home, I've actually been experimenting in the organic setting. I've actually been experimenting, not supplementing really at all. I do have a mushroom bag in there, so it's a little bit higher than ambient. It's probably on average around 700-ish, 700 to 800 ppms all the time. So not super double ambient, I'd say. Would probably be on a good day. But on organics, I don't know. I'm thinking that if you push CO2 in organics, you run into nutrient deficiency easier, I think. So it's just something I'm experimenting with. I'm trying to back off on CO2 and see if I can amend less.
I could definitely see you running into deficiencies quicker, for sure.
Well, and it takes longer to fix those too in an organic setting. That's one of the worries that you have. He says.
Yeah, I just keep throwing more D's bags in there until,
I love those
things I can afford.
Yeah, that's me. Just the mushroom bags. Keep it organic, I guess.
I've tested them with the CO2 meter, man. They work. They work really well.
Well, he's got the mega bag, or I don't know what they call them, the double bag.
Double D's,
I know,
dude.
Those double D's, they're fucking huge.
So those double D's, if you put those in something small like a 4x2, they literally will hit over 700 ppm. It's fucking nuts.
I want to get one of those new pulse monitors that monitors the CO2 and everything.
That's what I was thinking.
It's a light meter too. That's what I'm going to get. I should have pre-ordered it. I think I'm out. Maybe I still have time to order it. There's a pre-order on them right now, or there was, where you get an old version for free.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Dan?
That's pretty sweet.
It's called the Pro, the Pulse Pro.
Yeah, the Pro. You're right. Yep.
What's the suggested retail on something like that?
That's
$500.
I think it was $599, so like $6.
Dang.
Maybe it was $499.
I saw $499.
Okay, $499.
But you get a regular one free, so it really lowers it $200. So really you're only paying $300.
So now you get one for veg and flour.
Wow.
Right.
I was just getting big time enough to consider buying the Pulse, and now I'm
Trying
too
to jump into
poor
that
to buy
bougie.
the other one again.
Flex over your shoulder, Dan.
Let's say another
Right
$100.
shoulder. Flex, Dan, on the right.
that Black Friday sale will be off, and you have to buy them both.
I think I'm going to wait for next year and see how far they go on sale next year and get it next year.
Dro, you hear that? $500. Get to work, man.
Hold on, Red. You're feeling better now. You are going to be busting out your freeze dryer soon, aren't you?
I don't have a freeze dryer.
Oh, not the freeze dryer. It's the fucking turbo.
Yeah, dude. I was up late actually clearing space, moving stuff around in my garage, moving my press around, getting the table set up, getting my workbench cleaned off, sanitized, and I'm going to start dry sifting, running the rest of what I don't dry sift through water, running the rest of what's old through alcohol, and I got the Ito Pro that I'm going to fire up. I got a table set up for that. Basically set up a nice little processing area in the garage where it's going to be nice and cold. So doing some cleanup.
Some of that
up late.
That legacy FSO is going to be nice, dude. The old
ready,
bins.
Ready to rock. Yeah, a lot of that old stuff, man, is going to be real heavy.
You imagine the CBN? The
they're going to knock you the fuck out.
Oh, man. Oh, dude, you're going to be so sleepy. It's going to be amazing.
Most of that is probably going to be used for topicals. I'm gonna try to re-dilute it into tinctures or something. I'm just gonna have to.
You got to do one run, at least one run of FSO, just so we can fucking,
nighttime juice.
So we can bring back the Coma
Sleep.
guy.
Yeah,
bring back
Coma
Coma
guy. Oh.
Dude, Coma guy moved across the country, dude.
To get away from it.
He was so ashamed that he couldn't handle the Michigan cannabis. He went to Cali. Got the fuck out of here.
Go on, get.
Some of the old stuff is like Death Star. Well, dementia. There's some old stuff. It's Apollo 13. So a lot of that stuff that's a little more stimulating and heady. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see how sedating it gets. How converted it is.
Just about the only time I consume RSO or FSO is when I'm going to sleep. So I'm down for some CBN loaded stuff. Let's go.
Rock me Amadeus.
With that said, we are past our time. The show was amazing today. Thank you, Painted Lady, for joining us. You're welcome back whenever you would like.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I had a great time. Usually I'm in chat just making some perverted comments, so it was nice to be able to do it in person, kind of.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Where can everyone find you, Painted Lady?
I'm on Instagram and Cannabuzz, both places at Painted Lady Gardens, I think it is on both. So yeah, Instagram and Cannabuzz. You can find me. I tend to mostly post on Instagram mostly, but I'm working on Cannabuzz. I'm getting there.
Sounds good. Spartan Smoking. So Dan, you're up next. Where can everyone find you, Dan?
Hey guys, you can find me at Dankman Dan on Instagram. You can find me here with the Bro Show Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Thank you for joining us tonight, Painted Lady. It's great having you.
Red, where can everyone find you, Red?
You shout out to Dankman Dan because his eyes are, I can't see his eyes just as much as I can almost see my eyes. So
Man,
shout out to Dan.
Ripped.
Yeah, dude.
The little hashtag that could.
Hey, ladies, shout out to her joining the show, coming on. Awesome having you. Cheers. And everybody in chat that I didn't get a chance to hang out with tonight. Cheers, everybody. And you can find me on Instagram. And you know what? I totally forgot about Cannabuzz. Thank you for reminding me about that. I am on Cannabuzz at Red Setter Farm. So I'm there. Maybe I will log into that one of these days and see some more.
Follow Red on Instagram. He showed off that badass garden today on this show. He has so little followers, it's criminal. He posts really cool pictures all the time. Follow Red.
Yes.
And make sure to come through tomorrow night at 11 p.m. If you didn't get enough Red tonight, come back through.
For way too much.
There's no such thing as too much Red. It's like cowbell, man. Cowbell, Red Setter Farm. They're almost interchangeable.
Yeti, thank you for joining us, Yeti.
It was super nice to be able to hang with you guys tonight.
Yeah, where can everyone find you, sir?
For sure. Yeah, check me out on Instagram at Yeti Stash and here on the Bros Show. Sunday nights. It was awesome once again. Great hanging and chatting with everybody.
Sure. Spartan. You're not smoking now, so you're up.
Yep. Actually, I was smoking some from nut flower. So I was smoking some nut flower. I was smoking some from Nut Tree there.
Clip it.
The shit I got was Purple Haze times gelato, but I really enjoyed that. So thank you for that. Thank you to chat. I wasn't too attentive to chat. I'm sorry. I don't know. I was out of it today. Thank you, Painted Lady, for coming on. It's awesome to have you on here. It's awesome to talk to another grower. It's cool to have another person from Michigan too. It's just super cool to be, local. So thank you for being on the show.
Thanks so much, Spartan. Appreciate it, everybody.
Thank you, Spartan. Skilbo, what do you think?
Skilbo1 on Instagram, Skilbo17 on YouTube, late 11 p.m. tomorrow.
All right. Abolish. I didn't forget you, I promise. Abolish Farms and Miss C. Where can everyone find you guys?
Let's say I really got to get on swapping over all these blooper cuts to my phone so we can post them on IG. Spartan made that one easy at the end of the episode to get. But Abolish Farms, you can find me on IG, YouTube, and where we see MBGS Productions. You can also find all my fishy content at Abolished Aquatics. And I'd like to shout out all the companies I rep for: Bad Bunny Nutrients, Easy Swap Pots, Mantis Genetics, and Black Sail Market.
Thank you,
Thanks for
man.
letting me hang out with you guys tonight. You can find me on Instagram at Miss Cantaloupe. And shout out to Painted Lady for coming on tonight. It was nice to have another lady on. And just another shout out to Tara for being the awesome lady she is and pumping us all up in chat.
Tara is truly the best.
Come back and hang, Painted Lady. You fit right in.
For sure.
Yeah, no problem at all. Fit right in with the rest of us.
Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it. I had a great time.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Check out our show sponsors, Easy Swap Pots. Check out Potent Ponics, our new show sponsor as of today. Thank you very much to Potent Ponics and his show. I'll put the link again in chat. He's doing educational stuff on his channel, so check that shit out. Everyone, have a great night. We will see you tomorrow.
Late sesh.